back.
Welcome back. Our trip through the Louvre gave me an inspector-sized appetite. So I thought I'd get a bite at this famous cafe called Les Deux Margots. This is the cafe for the rich and famous. And one of the more famous of the rich lived right down the road at the Palace of Versailles. The Palace of Versailles is not exactly down the road, but it's just a short hop by Winged Victory. You can't miss the place. It covers 6,000 acres. King Louis XIV built it over 300 years ago. This place wasn't always so big. In fact, Louis's father only had a simple hunting lodge here before. But when hunting simples went out of style, it was time for a change. When the king's head of finance threw a fancy party at his expensive home, the king was outraged. How dare someone have a better home than the king? So the king fired the head of finance and threw him in prison. That's what he got for showing off. The king decided to build a bigger home. Of course, he got a little carried away. His hunting lodge turned into one of the largest palaces in the world. The star attraction at the palace is the Hall of Mirrors. The mirrored hall is 240 feet long with 40-foot ceilings. It's a great way to bring a garden inside without the bugs. But it's a window washer's nightmare. This was called Apollo's Pool to flatter the king. You see, the king's nickname was the Sun King, and Apollo was the Greek god of the sun. I guess it's a good bet the pool of the sun god is heated all year round. The famous Queen Marie Antoinette built a tiny country village on the palace grounds so she could pretend to be something she wasn't. Poor. She named it the Hamlet. Thousands of people come to see the gardens and fountains of Versailles and rub elbows with the 400 sculptures. They help give the gardens that lived-in look. And it gives the visiting pigeons moving targets. You know, if it weren't for all these museums, the French would be up to their berets in loose paintings and statues. Lafayette, or the City of Science and Industry, is an entire complex dedicated to, you guessed it, science and industry. Finally, a museum where I'll be appreciated. Behind Lafayette is a giant geodesic globe called the Geo. But wait, there's more. Even the dolls have a museum where they go see other dolls. This is the Musée de la Poupée, or Doll Museum. Don't worry, they let people in too. It contains one of the world's oldest doll collections. It's like the world's biggest dollhouse. There are so many museums in Paris, it's impossible to name them all. Looks like the artwork is even spilling out onto the sidewalk. I'm ready for my close-up, Chief. Guess what the Musée de la Contrefaçon is for? Fakes. Over the years, there were so many great forgeries or fakes, they had to create a museum just for them. That way, you won't get them confused with the originals. Would you believe there are more than 2,000 more museums to come? Would you believe 200? How about a phone booth filled with postage stamps? So don't go away. We're going someplace else next.
The show will be right back.